Welcome to Simply Stylish DIY, where we take ordinary to extraordinary. Hey y'all! Welcome back to Simply Stylish DIY. Today we will be making two one-of-a-kind coastal themed summer crafts. We will be using Dollar Tree supplies to keep them budget friendly. I think you're going to love how beautiful these DIYs turn out. Without further ado, let's get to crafting! DIY number 1, Umbrella Beach Tag Decor. For this DIY, you'll need a piece of summer-looking scrapbook paper, one of the tags from Dollar Tree that looks summery or coastal, a pack of the umbrella picks. Also, you'll need some water-based paint, sponge brushes, and Mod Podge and distresser. For this DIY, you'll need a piece of scrapbook paper. I bought these books of scrapbook paper at Joann when they were on clearance. I used a coupon to stack on top of that, and I got this whole thing for like $5 or $6. They're usually $20. So I flipped through it and found this beach themed. It's got the words. I was just going to flip through here and show you a few of the other sheets where it's seasonal. I thought a lot of these will be really cute for upcoming DIYs. So I chose this one that has the multicolored words. And next, we're going to take these tags I bought at Dollar Tree. They had different ones. I picked this one that had relax on one side, and the other tag has the little umbrella and beach chair. I don't want to use the side that says relax because it's a little indented. I wanted to have a smooth surface, so I'm going to flip it over and use the other side so we can Mod Podge on this paper. I'm trying to decide which way I wanted to hang the tags, so I wanted to cover up the hole with the beach paper, and then I'm going to take off the twine here so I can cover that up, leaving it on the other one because that's what we're going to use for the hanger. Next, I'm going to take the wood tag and lay it on the piece of scrapbook paper and take a pencil and trace out the outline. Then I'm going to take my scissors and cut to the inside of the line just so it will fit on top of the tag. I did not cut out a space for the hole on top. I'm just going to keep that covered so it looks a lot smoother. Now I'm going to take some Mod Podge. I just had gloss on hand. You could use anything here. And I'm going to apply a thick coat onto the tag and then lay the piece of paper on top of that and smooth out any wrinkles. The reason I said that I cut mine a little bit smaller inside the lines is because I wanted a wood edge around the sides because I want to put some distresser on it and make it look more weathered to tie into the beach theme. So I'm going to leave that rough edge, and then I'm going to take my Mod Podge once I have it underneath and all the bubbles pressed out, and just put a thin coat on top of it so it is sealed good. I'm going to take that tag that we just put the Mod Podge on and put it over to the side to dry. Next, I'm going to take this Bahama Blue acrylic paint, put a little bit on a paper plate or in a palette, mix some clean water in it. We're going to make like a faux stain to put on the other tag. Once you get that all mixed up good and all the little chunks of paint stirred in, just take a sponge brush and apply it to the tag, but just don't put it on the umbrella or the beach chair. My sponge was a little bit too big to put in between these little spaces in the chair and in between the umbrella. So I'm just going to take a small little brush and dip it in my paint and fill those in. Next, since we use this as a stain, I'm going to take a paper towel or a rag and blot it a little bit so the wood grain will show through. I'm going to use this Mountain Blue acrylic paint color. I'm just going to put a little drop here on the plate, and then I'm going to take the same sponge brush that I used with the lighter blue, kind of drag it through that little bit of paint and put it onto the brush, mixing the two colors a little bit together, and just take it over top of the beach chair just to give it a little bit of dimension. Since this is not very wet, I'm going to take it and go over the lighter color blue too, just to give it like a sky look. Next I'm going to take a paper towel and blot that too. Next I'm going to take this brown paint and take that little brush that I used earlier and just paint the handle of the umbrella. I'm getting ready to do something fun with the umbrella, but I wanted to make sure I had some color underneath it too. So I'm just going to use the paint that's left on the sponge brush and just dab it over that. So if you can see underneath it, it'll have color also. I picked up these umbrella picks at Dollar Tree. I thought they would be really cute to use this as a little faux umbrella on top of the wood umbrella, so it just gives it like a 3D effect. So I'm going to take out the orange one because I thought it matched the orange and the wording on the other tag well. I'm going to remove that little rubber band and open up the umbrella. Once I get it opened up and the little rubber band underneath it pushed up underneath it, I'm going to take my scissors. These are just little pieces of cardboard, and snip that away from the handle of the umbrella. Once I have all those unclipped, I'm going to take my scissors and just cut it off of that too, the little stem, so you just have the umbrella top. Next, I'm going to open it up completely and then take my scissors, making sure I get those little pieces of cardboard snipped off so they're not just hanging down. And then I'm going to cut just a straight line on one side of it, just to the center, and that way you can just fold it down almost like a fan and position it with that little topper. I did leave it on, and then take your fingers and work it around the edges of the wood part of the umbrella, and then this looks just like it's opened up over top of the beach chair on a pretty sunny day. Once you have it opened up the way you want to, it holds its shape very good. Pick it up, go ahead and put some hot glue just around the top edge there, and make sure you put a little bit on that top tip. And then we're going to lay the umbrella back over it, taking your fingers and holding it down and position it the way you want it to lay. I sit here and work the edges down, and you can take your fingers and pull the umbrella over it as much as you want to. You can make it look like it is open completely or just hanging down loosely. And took some extra hot glue here and pressed it down just so it held down to the edge. That's the reason I wanted to paint the umbrella blue underneath, in case it looked like it was blowing up. It still had color too. I wasn't exactly sure which umbrella I was going to use at that point. I could have painted it orange under there so it would all match, but this way it just matches the chair. I wanted this tag sign to look distressed and weathered to give it that beachy coastal feel. If you don't like the distress, you can just skip this part, but I think it turned out really cute. I'm going to use this Distress Oxide in ground espresso. You can pick this up at any craft store. I'm going to do the same thing with the distresser and just put it around the edges of the one with the scrapbook paper too. Next, I'm going to take that piece of twine that came on it and go ahead and tie that into a knot in just the one tag, and then put the knot to the top, and that's what I'm going to use to hang this. I'm going to try to figure out how I want to position this at this point. I want it to kind of hang catty-cornered to the bottom sign, but I also want to keep the piece of twine at the top for hanging. So once I figure that out, I'm going to take the hot glue, put it on the back sign, and position that on and let that dry. I picked up this little pack of fairy garden figurines. They had the beachy theme to them, so I thought this little lobster would be cute to take out of the pack and put on the sign. So I'm going to take it, put it onto the back sign just to give that a little 3D effect too. Once I figure out where I want to put it and how I want to turn it, I'm going to put some hot glue on the back, and I hear it there in the corner. And instead of it just being so bright red, I'm going to take the distresser and just tone it down a little bit so I don't have that shine. Okay, here's our finished product on our coastal themed summer tag. I love how this one turned out. You could change out the scrapbook paper, paint it a completely different color. Dollar Tree did have several of these designs with different little pieces of wood on the one tag. You could pick up one of those and make a whole set. DIY number 2, 3D embellished beach canvas wall decor. This DIY doesn't have a lot of supplies that you need, but I think you're going to love how it turns out. We're just going to use 2 of these canvases from Dollar Tree, some of the distresser and a brush, and 2 embellishments. I chose this shell and anchor. We're going to use most of the pieces for all of it and put it all together to make a beautiful decor piece. Dollar Tree got in several of these coastal canvases this year. I chose these two because they are neutral. I picked up two different designs in the neutral color. The first one we're going to work with is this one that has the reef and a little shell. So I'm going to remove the plastic, and we're going to take this shell I also picked up at Dollar Tree in the same section. We're going to use all the parts for this one, but we're going to cut it apart. So I'm going to take off the top piece. I'm going to cut it as close to that staple as I can just to keep that little tail on, and I'm going to put it underneath the hanger that's already on it. So I'm going to put some hot glue underneath there, and then take that little piece of twine and adhere it with hot glue. Just hold it down until it dries and then flip it over. Next, I'm going to position the shell. I'm going to try to figure out if I want to put it in the center, which I did decide to do that. Go ahead and cut off the bottom tassel with those two little beads as close to the staple there as you can. And then we're going to reuse parts as we go. That way I'm going to take now the shell and put some hot glue all around the perimeter of the back side. Then I'm going to flip it over and just stick it in the center of the canvas. Next, I'm going to take the little tassel and put it over to use in a minute. I wish I had tied the top off here in a little knot just so the beads didn't slide. Make sure that if you want to do that before you hot glue it down. This doesn't show up well on camera. You can tell that it's there, but it's a lot darker than it appears. So you can see that at the end. I'm going to take the distresser like we used in the first DIY, and I wanted the theme them alike, so I'm going to take that and go around the edges of the canvas just to make it look more handmade, and also to have that weathered antiques look. Once I have all the edges done on the perimeter, I'm going to take some and go onto the center just to give it that weathered look there too. I'm going to do the same thing to the shell. I'm just going to put some of the distresser on my brush and go over the top of it and sides lightly. This just gives a little bit of dimension to the pattern. Next, I'm going to take another canvas. It's the same colors, just a different design. It doesn't have the shell on it, so I'm going to use the other embellishment on it. I bought this nautical rope too at Dollar Tree. So we're going to take it and we're going to connect these two together so we can make a wall hanging. Go ahead and see how much of the rope you're going to need and the space that you want to put it as far down as you want it to go. I'm going to take it, flip over both canvases before I start putting the other things on the second one. Probably should have done this at the beginning, but I just was making it as I went. So I'm going to take it and put a little dab of glue on the bottom of one, the top of the other, and glue those together. After I get that glued together, I want to go ahead and put some hot glue over that rope so it doesn't come untwined and keeps the same look. And then I'm going to measure it with my other piece of rope and go ahead and cut that. If you want to measure with the tape measure, that would probably be best. I just kind of eyeballed it here. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm just going to put a dab of hot glue at the bottom of one, the top of the other, and hold that down until it gets tacky. Once that's in place, I'm going to put the hot glue over that rope too, just so it don't come untwisted. And then once it's able to be handled and the glue is cooler, I'm going to take my fingers and kind of mash that down so the glue goes down into the rope and doesn't start untwisting. Next, I'm going to flip it over and make sure they match up and it hangs right. And then I'm going to take my other embellishment. I picked up this anchor in the same section with the shell. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to clip it as close to that little staple as I can. And I'm going to go ahead and tie that off in a knot, set it aside. I'm going to use that in a different DIY. And then I'm going to take the bottom piece, clip it off, and we're going to use that in this DIY coming up in just a second. After I have that anchor removed, I'm going to put the hot glue on the back and all the high spots and turn it over and press it into the center of this canvas. Taking that distress oxide, I'm going to dab it around the edges. The light must be different in this shot because you can see a whole lot better how it looks a whole lot more handmade with that weathered look. And I also went over the top of the anchor too. I didn't want to waste any parts of the embellishment that I used, so that little tassel that I cut off from the bottom, we're going to replace that to the bottom of the canvas. I'm going to flip it over and glue it onto the bottom in the center, and that way we've used all the parts of it and it looks all uniform and really pretty together. Okay, here's our finished product. I loved how this one turned out too. I love the fact that you can buy 2 canvases and 2 decor pieces at Dollar Tree, and for under $5 you can make this wall art. It would be so cute to take other canvases that they have. They have a blue one that has some gold and white, and you could put a different embellishment in the center and do the same thing and make a couple. You could gift these to friends, or if you do craft shows, these would be a wonderful thing to take to those. They'd be inexpensive that you could make and sell them like hotcakes through the summertime. Thanks for crafting along with me today. I hope you enjoyed these coastal themed DIYs. If you did, please like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any upcoming crafty content. Also, leave me a comment down below to say hi and let me know which one of today's DIYs was your favorite. Until next time, happy crafting! I enjoyed our time together. Thanks for watching. I linked another video here for more crafting inspiration. Be sure to check it out. Have a great day.